The Uvalde school shooting, that horror is, unfortunately and disgracefully for our country, just one of many school shootings our country has had to grapple with. In February 2018, a gunman killed 17 people at Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Shortly after activists marched at the Capitol, they called to end gun violence in a campaign called March for Our Lives. And now, 4 years later, they got to do it again. Tomorrow, calling on people to join them in Washington or in their local communities to take a stand against this plague of gun violence. And with me now to discuss this is Ruquan Brown, a gun violence survivor and an activist for March for Our Lives. Ruquan, thank you very much for being with us. It is such an important issue. Glad you're taking, an active leading role. And I want to ask you, what drove you to get involved?
Well, thank you for having me, and I'm excited to speak on behalf of so many Americans who are afraid of losing their lives. Black Americans, white Americans, all Americans. And that's why I got involved in this movement, because so many people in my neighborhood, so many people even in my family have been murdered that I figured I would be next. And I wanted to do something about that because I shouldn't have to walk in fear in my neighborhood or anywhere for that matter. And so to be able to join with my peers and so many other people in this country to fight against our unsafety and fight for our safety in this country, it's the most beautiful feeling.
I love that. What are you expecting tomorrow? Are you expecting a lot of people to come out, or do you think people have been ground down by just the repetitiveness of it and the seeming hopelessness of it? What can we expect?
Yeah, I mean, Americans are hopeless right now because when it happens on a weekly basis, what type of hope can you sort of conjure up? It's almost impossible. And so I think so many Americans are looking forward to this particular demonstration as a pool of hope and that people want to get into and take that hope back home with them and live with it. Because people just want to be safe. People want to be able to imagine that their children will live, and people want to imagine that they can live as well. And so I think out of this, all of the people, however many it may be, will come together and get an opportunity to explore what a future in America with love and safety looks like.
Absolutely, Ruquan. I've got young children, and I can't, it's hard to even talk about Uvalde and seeing another school shooting in America. When you saw that, what were your immediate thoughts?
I was saddened, and I was saddened, but I was also not really surprised, especially when the news came out that the police officers didn't do much to help. I wasn't surprised, but I was saddened to see the faces of those young people, to think about the teachers, to think about the families whose babies will never, ever return to their room, or they will never read another bedtime story or tuck into bed. That's heartbreaking, but that's an experience that many Americans like myself and other Black and brown people experience on a daily basis. This ignorance from our politicians and from our officers for our safety is something that we experience on a daily basis. And that isn't an American ideal. We need to readjust our priorities so that our young people can be safe. No child should die at a school. No child should be murdered in our country at all. And so I'm extremely heartbroken for all of the families and want to extend as much love and care as I can to those families.
We sure need the love and that care. And Ruquan, I note that you are a student at Harvard. You're an athlete there, and you're running a company which advocates to end gun violence. So you're already a leader, and sometimes it just takes the rising generation with more energy, idealism, and love to make change happen. What action do you want to see?
Well, you know what I want to see? I want to see Americans commit to care, commitment, trust, responsibility for all people. I want people to commit to love. I want people to include all of those ingredients into their recipe for love. I want all Americans to do that. I want students to do that. I want parents. I want educators, coaches. I want politicians and constituents. I want all people to commit to that. I want our president to make it nationally registered that love is our religion. That's what it should be. Officially, our religion as Americans should be love, because that is how we avoid all of these plagues that are plaguing our communities. And these plagues are reaching far beyond race and class. These plagues do not care about white or Black or rich or poor, private school or public school. Americans need to agree on one thing, and that's love. And I think it's that simple. If we study love, examine it, and we allow our politicians to do their job, but with love, allow our teachers to do their job, but with love, allow our parents to do their job, but with love, we'll be extremely safe.
Love is a radical power. And Ruquan Brown, I thank you for being with us, and I wish you good luck in this work. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.